Hey everybody, I hope you are well on this spectacularly beautiful day, starting to feel a little bit more like fall than the hot weather we've been enduring. Um, Today, September 14th, is the 103rd anniversary of Connecticut's signing of the 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote. And one of the reasons I noted it today is the description I read noted a couple things. First of all, that vote was held 52 years after the Connecticut Women's Suffrage Association was first convened, and also 3 weeks after Tennessee was the 36th state to ratify it, which meant that it looked like it was going to be federally enforced. So the question was it worth it? Was it at all meaningful for Connecticut to hold this symbolic vote, which took a while for us to do? And I noted that it turned out that Tennessee had some technical issues with their vote. And so, although it may have seemed to Connecticut at the time that we were just taking a symbolic vote, important symbol, but nonetheless symbolic, turns out that it was actually useful to do that. And there's several things we do sometimes that feel at the time that they're just, a symbol. For example, when Connecticut codified Roe, you may remember there was some um, um, sort of criticism about that's unnecessary because Roe v. Wade was the law of the land in terms of protecting access to abortion. And turned out we needed that. It was useful to put in place. So sometimes, taking that extra mile to do something that feels just like a symbol is worth doing, even if it takes us a while to do that. I also wanted to note another national day is the 19th of September is National Voter Registration Day. And I'm going to look around for some events. I hope we're doing, I know we are doing some efforts to register voters then. I just want to note in particular, Connecticut had primaries in several of the bigger cities across the state and some of the larger small towns as well. And turnout was really low. In Hartford, it was like 14% of registered Democrats turned up to vote. And it turns out that there were, we vote out here in the Northwest corner. We should be very proud to say turnout is really high out here. And I have nearly twice the number of people who voted in that primary turnout for my elections. And mind you, those are general elections, not primary elections, but it just goes to show that people out here do vote and make sure their voices are heard. And that's really important. And I hope we can do more to get increased voter registration and also register voters to vote. So I've been talking to the Secretary of State about several issues, working on that. And we have much to do in this country because we don't have a very good record on that front. Also wanted to note that, I have in last week's newsletter and video, I talked about visiting family cemeteries, including the Hogan Cemetery in Fort Wayne. And I had noticed when I did a little research that at least one of those relatives settled in Torrington, Connecticut, and I hadn't had a chance to look it up yet to figure out more what I could learn. And I heard from several of you who are Hogan relatives, or at least knew of people, Hogans, who had settled in Torrington and even Goshen. So I'm going to see whether I can find some newfound Connecticut relatives. I have joked before growing up in Ohio, which was the Western Reserve, that it's sort of like growing up in Connecticut. And now I'm going to find out where my family history leads me to Connecticut as well, because that would be quite fun. This weekend, my big event this weekend is it's my anniversary, and my husband and I bought each other kayaks for our anniversary this year. So I'm hoping to be out on Lake Warramog, which is now a bigger part of my district, now that Washington's part of the district. And so I have more shoreline that's part of the district, and looking forward to being out there. So if you're going to be out on Lake Warramog, we'll be out in a couple of blue kayaks, and maybe I'll see you out there. Lots of fall festivals and things like that. Northwest Corner is the place, as we all know, to view the change in the seasons in the fall. And those events are starting to come up, including in my own town, Salisbury's fall festival is October 6th, 7th, and 8th, I believe. So I'll start putting some more information about those upcoming events. Lots of great things to do around here for the weekend. And I hope you have a good one, and talk to you soon.